All right, welcome everyone to today's live trading room. We got with us today beautiful Alex right there, and then we got
I thought you were going to say
Scruffy Trader. Yeah.
Beautiful Gary
Yeah.
Scruffy
No,
Trader.
Trust me,
I
I've
wanted to
never
say,
been called beautiful before.
I wanted to say like babyface Alex, but then I like thought a minute like maybe that's rude. I don't know, but yeah.
No,
So yeah,
I'd
welcome
be
everyone.
pretty happy with that. If you want to call me Babyface Alex, I'd be super happy with that, definitely.
It's all right, I'll call them.
All right, we got babyface Alex and beautiful Gary, Scruffy Trader here for a scalping session. And funnily enough, we talked about just a couple of minutes ago how scalping is probably not for everyone. So keep that in mind. And today, listen, guys, we have some really good stuff here today. This hour, we're going to give away a couple of. Let me run the banner real quick. So.
Yeah, so
You're gonna like the video, and Alex is gonna explain what's happening here. I can see he
so
wants to explain.
yesterday, you guys absolutely loved it. All the time, you got so many likes with all the giveaways, and we gave 7 accounts away yesterday. So we're going to do the same today, but instead, we're actually going to do a little bit of a bigger account. So every 250 likes that we get, we're going to give away 1 250 accounts. Okay, so get hitting those like buttons. I can't see the likes, so Jonathan, you're gonna have to tell me how many likes we get, and then at the end of the session, we will announce it, and whoever wins will be able to reach out to me, and I'll be able to give them the free 250k account. But that's not it. There is something else happening today. So we're actually having a smaller session today, and the reason being is because we're actually going to go all the way over to Twitter afterwards. In about 1 hour, we're going to go to Twitter for a Q&A with Sal, the CEO of the 5ers, and we're giving away 10 more accounts on top of that. So there you go. So if you don't get the account here, don't be alarmed. You will also have a chance to go over there and get an account as well. But yeah, that's it.
That's a good session. All right, most of you probably know Gary, Scruffy Trader, right? He's been on here a couple of times. I know you guys love him. I haven't traded a lot with him. This is the first time being on a live stream with you, Gary. So maybe quick, just maybe you could introduce yourself. We got a lot of new viewers on here, and I'm sure they're very curious to know.
Well, most of you call me Scruff, and it's not because my charts are messy. I'll actually flash my chart up if you want. I've got a small trade running right at this moment in time, and it's Bitcoin. Now, I know you guys like scalping. I'm not a scalper. I'm a day trader, come swing trader. Now, for me, a trade is all about the why as much as the how. And that's kind of what we're looking at here. It's why is the market doing what it's doing? Whereas if you're a scalper, you've got to dive right into it. And my bobblehead can't cope with that. So I look at one market at a time, concentrate all my effort into that. And it's either going to win or it's going to lose, and I'll live and die by the decision I make. So that's what I do on a daily basis. Very, very simple way of looking.
Who would have thought you'd be trading Bitcoin of all the assets?
Your fault, because I hate trading Bitcoin. And look, but the reason why I'm in this trade at the moment is there's a number of elements, and I'll show it. It's very small, and when you look at this, it's only 30 pence, right? 0.01. Now, if I was to say to anybody coming in, they'd look at that and they'll go, well, it's a 10k account. Why is it that small? It's because the drawdown's small. So I'm not going to stress the account. I have a maximum position size in this of 60 pence. So I'll dip my toe in the water and I'll build a position, which we're seeing here, and it won't kill or stress the account. And if it goes wrong, well, it's all cleared up. There's my stop points up here. I'll stage that up into this to come back because I'm looking to fade this on an hourly chart. This strong drive, you see the fib, that's marked into it. It's locked in on the 23, order, built in a few, out at the 50. Very simple process. But the reasons why, it's running out of steam. The Bollinger Band's telling me it's running out of steam. I can see it in the momentum with the RSI. It's running out of steam. And if it is going to push higher, it'll push down as well, just to get that run up. So in this case, it is a kind of scalp, if you want to call it that, because I'm going against the bigger trend. So that's my version of scalping. Does that make sense to you, though?
Yeah. Do you want to just show them your little bit of methodology of how you break down the charts? Because this is the one thing that I love about the way that you trade is you really meticulously looking in the levels. You have specific levels,
I'll build
things,
chart.
and
Any chart.
build a chart for us in front of us. So people who may like to use support and resistance, and they might
I'll tell you what. One thing I really don't like doing, and I do this for my guys as well all the time. I never pick the chart. You tell me the chart, and I'll.
So that's it. Comment what chart you want Scruff to enter in.
We'll mark it out.
Nice. Let's go. So comment in the chat right now which pair that you want Scruff to go through, and we'll pick one.
Build it up.
Okay, I'm gonna pick the third one. Let's see. All right, we got GBP, USD, we got gold. All right, one more. Euro USD. Let's do that one.
The which one?
That was good. Jonathan wants that one because the pair that he trades the most. Go on, let's do EU then.
EU. Okay.
EU.
Well, if you look down here, my setups are mental because I have alpha watches where I keep everything together so I can get an overview of what's going on in the market. I'll look for correlations in the market, and then I'll drill it down into a trading point, which is, in this case, if it is EU and we're running here, if I open this up, I can actually see all of my euros together as well. And the reason why I do this is very simple. If they're all going in the same direction, it adds weight to my decision. So keeping baskets is a good idea. So what we'll do, we'll make certain there's nothing on this. We'll take it to scratch. Absolute zero. And most of you are going to bulk here because you're going to go a monthly chart. Is rocket. But this is where a lot of information is. Now, a little trick. If you get hold of that and drag that, it'll pull your center point across. Take it into a line chart, guys. This now tells you exactly where that market turns. You don't have to worry about the wicks. You don't have to worry about the bodies. You can see in an instant where the market moved. And all you do is find the point and away we go. Now, I'll do this relatively quick as if it's a day trade rather than because I can spend 20 minutes, half an hour marking up one of these things. But we got it there. Follow the mouse down. And the first thing you're doing is you're looking, or what I'm looking to do, is lock this price between 2 points. Because at that point, it's going to hit one of them. It has to. Follow this through. There's your next point. And then you've got one sitting directly behind it. We just filled in the gap a little bit. Look for about a year back in time. So we're kind of going back to here. When's that? That's January. And I'm looking for the rolling year. And then I'm going to put my levels based on around this, tidy them out a little bit. So it's nice and simple. If you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, go closest to the price. That marries to this shoulder. That's onto there. Again, that shoulder will marry to this. So it's a better way of looking at it. And it's also pretty much close to that. I'm happy with that. There we go. I can drop a couple of extra levels in. Now, this is going to start looking mental. But let it unfold. Let it unfold. Drop this down.
So when adding the levels, you always only look at the line chart to begin with then?
I look at a line chart to start with, yes. And the reason being is if you can imagine there's a battle, and not speaking sucking eggs to you two, but for the guys that are watching this, if you imagine there's a battle going on between a buyer and a seller, these points is the exact point that battle was won and lost. So it's where the biggest part of the money was. Now from here, pull this down into October, roughly about 3 months back. So monthly as far back in time as possible. Then you're looking at the rolling year and the rolling quarter for the dailies. Drop that down there. Just get this all nice and tidy for you. Just pull this into shot. There we are. Again, I'm going to tidy these up because I constantly want them tidy. Because the other part of this is you don't want too many levels on. You know, you only want what are relevant. And as you're tidying in, they're all on the spinning points. So you've got a lot of chop here. If you've got a lot of chop, you want something to represent on the other side. So the top of that peak smashes straight into that and it catches this here. And the colors, they don't really mean anything. It's just if I make a mistake, I know where I drew it. I can find it. So I'll just quickly drop these in. But the next part of the puzzle is where it gets a little bit more interesting. Now, with these, just drop these in. And I'll do it rough and quick. Just like so. Follow it down with your mouse. Straight into that. Relevant. All the way down. Kind of a bump in the road. Really hold a great deal of weight. That's significant. Catches onto that. And that's miles away. Not really. Okay. They're the solid levels that I put into the market. Take it back to this. Now, if I drop that out, and said there's a chart, crack on with it. A lot of people will panic.
That's a lot of levels, man. It's a lot of levels.
Yeah. Not anymore, they're not. You put this in an hourly and a 15-minute chart, those levels are perfect. They're wonderful.
Nice. I like that.
You've got nice ranges to work to that are nicely defined backwards and forwards. But I also want to reinforce these to see which ones are strong, which ones are weak, etc. And I do that using Fibonacci. I'm a big Fibonacci trader. I love the ratios of Fibonacci. Absolutely superb.
Yeah, me too. I love how it aligns with the horizontal levels.
Yeah. Now here, you've got a lot of chop, consolidation. So it's like phase one of a market. You've got a phase here, but then sitting behind it, you've got this huge, strong directional move. Now, if I look for the first candle of the move, which is this one to the end, and I drop a fib into this, this starts highlighting levels to the pip, what I've marked in. So I know these are now becoming strong and they become very attractive to me. Now, because these are hypothetical, I put them in a dotted line, just like so. Same color ratio, so I know where they're drawn from. Another thing is when you're doing this, if you unselect all of this lot, it'll not move, guys, because you get in a habit of moving them about. Just like this. And then run that. Get that pushed down onto there, just like so. That 38, you can't see it because it's hidden directly behind that. Onto 23. Again, you don't want to draw the same fib. Just drop a line on so you can hide your chart if you like. Put that there. Get a weekly. Again, looking at three phases, looking for the strongest part. Got one here, two, and then there's a strong move here. So use that. Bottom, top, highlighting the levels yet again. Lovely. Now, again, there'll be a lot of people going, oh, hold on a second here. Way too many levels, and it does look stupid. But we don't trade weekly charts. We trade hourly charts. We're looking for a roadmap within this. Build this chart up like so. And I do this once a week on my key assets.
So you do this once a week, and do you how many pairs are you doing this on a weekly basis?
I normally mark up 4 primary assets that I look at, and sort of it's the DAX, Euro, Dollar, Cable, this sort of thing. They're my bread and butter market, shall we say? And once they're in place, it's fine. Then I'm looking for strongest and weakest markets each day. And I'll just mark it up before I go to market if I'm going to trade it. But you always look at Eurodollar, you always look at cable. So I have it all marked up. And because of the long time frame, I could even leave them in for a month or so. But I've got a bit of OCD. I just like to do it from there. Well, I do. It's just one of them things. And then you got another move here, which is catching up on the daily. Okay. So you can see that's fallen away. And then that's where the last one was drawn in. We can put the fib into here, just like so. Base of that. Run that into here. And again, the magic will now start to unfold. Just a touch. So just drop these in. They don't need to be perfect because work in zones as well. But we are pretty much on the money right the way through. Run this down. Nice the way. There's the 50 highlighting perfectly that level. And the 50 is my key point because the price will always pull down into a 50. Well, certainly a lot of the time, 80% of the time, from a strong directional move. Okay. That chart's now built. Or at least it will be when I get rid of that. There we go. Okay. So again, that looks terrible, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. But if I'm looking
it looks
at
pretty
this,
bad, man.
but now, down on here, what I'm essentially looking for is get in on a solid line and out on dotted or the next solid line. So if I'm going to scalp into this and I'm following the price, I can see the stall points all the way through it. And it just keeps on going constantly. Get this auto scroll off because it's terrible.
Let me just interject 2 seconds, Scruff. For everybody that's writing 250K with a small K, it won't enter you into the giveaway. You have to have a capital K. So just to point that out. And if you spam it as well, it's not going to enter you in more time. So once is totally enough. There you go.
We want to make sure that we have everyone who actually has a question regarding, technical analysis or trading in general. We want to make sure that they get space in the comment section as well. So make sure that you don't have to comment, 100 times 250K, because it only needs once. To make sure we have the questions as well here.
How many likes are we on before we continue?
Oh, we are almost at 500, so we're not even 30
Whoa! 500?
500. So right now we got two Bootcamp accounts that are going out. If we hit that, well, we're at 485, so very close to 500. So it's getting there.
Nearly
it's getting there.
Okay, Scruff, carry on. There you go.
No. Like I said, all I've done at this point is I've just made a roadmap for the chart. I'm looking for key areas where it can bounce, key areas where it can go. All I need to do now is figure out a dominant direction. And I've got entry points I can work to. I can enter off these, I can exit on these, and then I'm just looking to trade the free air between the 2 points. It's a very simplistic way of looking at things. And if you're on an hour's chart and you're wanting to start looking for entry exits, you can just use a fib. There's the last strong directional drive containing the price. And this is a very watered way of doing what I do, but I can send that across. I can then just set in some criteria. Blue to represent profit, if you like. Just here. Just like so. And then work my way through. Look for minimum targets of this. Not great on this because the ATR is pretty bad. Bear with me just a second. Don't know if you can see a strange spreadsheet popped up.
No, we can't see the.
When you share your screen, you can either share an application or the whole screen, and maybe you've only shared Meta.
I think I'll probably just share the application because I'm not that clever.
What we'll do,
fine,
if you wanna swap it over, we'll swap over to Jonathan quickly, and you can just put it back onto what you wanted to show us, Scruff, because I know you are incredible with all of the spreadsheets and stuff like that.
Let me
I'm
have
curious
a.
to see if the level I'm trading on here is can be found using a similar technique. So let's go to the line chart here. I'm gonna remove everything here. We'll go out to the weekly on a line chart, and you know, if I would have added this level maybe here on the line chart, and perhaps you know this one right here, it actually makes quite a lot of sense here. So when I go down to the 15 minute, the level that I've just added is, I think it's going to be this one and that one. So what I'm doing here is, I guess something similar, because I'm entering based on a fib. Now that's a low time frame fib though. I know you would probably have marked out your fib using that high to this low.
I look at the
Not,
extremes, yes.
yeah, not sure why I didn't do that. I kind of had a, because I usually do that as well, but I just had a feeling that we have one move down to support, and usually what I want to do is, you have a bounce here, so you have a strong move down to support, a bounce, and then that is like the high of that bounce, and that's where the move that broke the level began. So that's the move I want to fib. And here you see that I'm playing off the 50% fib here as well. And even though I'm taking profits at the weekly open is at like right above that level that we did find on the line chart right here. So I think it makes a lot of sense, because the way you're marking out your levels on the line chart and the high time frames, you will always see a reaction to those levels on the low time frames, because you know you have high time frame traders looking at the levels and now also low time frame levels. So I think that's the best way of day trading, is finding the high time frame level and then waiting for that reaction. I think that's
It is. I mean,
definitely,
many years ago, when the guy who taught me how to do this, he was a bank manager. What he told me was, you're looking at two constants on the market, and one of them is the levels. And it doesn't matter what time frame you look at. If you've drawn your level incorrect, that level will ripple through time. So if a
yeah.
monthly, it'll be in the same place on a minute. And the price is a constant because it's in the same place as well. So once you've got your roadmap in place, the only thing you need to worry about is your direction or into an area of interest. And that area of interest is always those levels. Because if you're looking at hourly levels, do they really hold that much weight? Not really. And this is kind of why sometimes I think the why something's happening is more important than how to do it. If you understand why a market is reacting, then you can look at this objectively. Now, I look at a market when I'm day trading as market neutral. I don't go in with a closed bias. I'll look at it on a morning, and if it's on a heavy pullback against the daily, well, that's fine. The dominant bias might be to the upside on the weeklies and the monthlies, but that pullback can be good enough for the next few hours to get a minimum criteria. I'll kind of highlight something. Now, to me, I'd be kind of shorting this off the 61 down into the 50. And if you flip my screen on, you'll kind of see that there's the 61 here, and then it'll run down into there, that sort of free air, if you like. And that comes from looking at something like this. Now, the euro.
Oh man, look at that.
That's
a lot of work behind that, isn't it?
The engine behind it is huge.
Yeah.
It's a massive engine. It runs through all sorts, and it's just it's a crazy spreadsheet. But I plug a lot of figures into it on a morning. I look at all the strengths, the waves of the market, what it's doing, and it's shown me that the euro is on the floor. It's absolutely knacked. But the US ain't that strong either. Now, that'll explain why there's a lot of chop in the market, etc. And if I look at the change of strength from the last data sample, the euro is losing less ground or losing more ground than what the US is. So that'll add weight to it pushing down. But because it's chopping about so much, if I look over here, it'll actually tell me what my minimum targets are if I'm going to scalp it very quickly. And it's 6 pips. That's all it is, because I'm looking for a third of a third. Now, a third of a third is the waves. So if I'm looking for something inside of this wave here, I'm going to use the top third to get in, going to use the middle third to get some profit, and the last third to get out. And that's the whole idea. And that's why I like fibs, because it breaks things up. If I looked at this and I started breaking it up, there's an area to kind of get in, if you like. There's an area to get out. I can now trade this section in the middle, and it's free. Those two barriers, if you like, are danger points. And as long as I can work within that, if I'm going to go short, okay, look at the top, get in here, I'll get out there. Get in here, get out here, and I can just work my way through the chart till I'm paid. Mm-hmm. And I do that systematically over and over. But I try to zoom in onto a single market each time. I don't like jumping from market to market to market. I'll focus all my energy in one place.
What are you currently trading at the moment? Because I know you're a big DAX trader. What are you currently looking at? What do you currently like to trade?
At the moment, believe it or not, it's actually gold.
Just because it's got volatility, unlike everything else at the moment.
It's the volatility side, but the part with the indices is the indices are so high in the scale.
Yeah,
they become quite unpredictable. So I'm kind of treating them with kid gloves. And anybody who watches me, they'll see that I do a lot of passive trading as well. I trade up a passive account on Vanguard following indexes. I've just sold all of my S&P 500, all of it. I've put it into a bond market just while it flattens out. But each month I'll still buy into it. But the money I've got there is protected while it's at the very top of the market. And I'm looking at it a similar way when I'm trading. If I don't understand what's going on, I stay away from it. And it's that simple. And it's like news trading. In an hour and a half's time, we've got a news event at 3 o'clock.
Jolts, isn't it?
Market. I'll stay out of it. See what's going on. Then I'll trade it. Because it's the same thing. Just because the market's moving doesn't mean you got to jump into it. It becomes unpredictable. And I like
that makes a lot of sense. And I like that, you know, if and I guess it's the same thing when you pull up a chart, and if you can't see anything clearly, you'll probably just move on to the next one. Right?
Correct. And when I'm fib trading, I love to use a fib. A fib is probably my favorite tool because it maps everything out, shows me where the market is. And then from the fib, my next part would be a Bollinger Band. I like a Bollinger Band. It shows the strength in the market, whether or not it's starting to sort of compress on itself. Then I look at momentum inside a fast RSI, and I just build up a picture. And if I don't understand the picture, I just don't trade it. It's that simple. I think one of the worst things for any trader is try to express your will into the market. You know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the market is going to do whatever it wants to do. I mean, it's up to the market to decide if you're going to be like, well, it's not really up to the market, but sometimes I like to say, you know, it's up to the market to decide if you're going to be profitable or not. You can't really force it. You're just going to go with the flow, and the market just does whatever it wants to do, and you can't force it. I see a lot of people, they come into the office on Monday and they're like, I'm going to make some money today. You know, I'm going to take some trades today. And it's just like, we don't know, like, we don't even know if there's going to be a trade today. Like, for me, it's all about just being there and just waiting and making sure that I'm available and observing the markets whenever it's time to, you know, for the market to tell me it's time.
Exactly. And I mean, if we pull this down into a 15-minute chart and you're trading that's a nice, easy chart to trade. You know, you've got clear entry points, which is here, and now you can use the lower ones as your exit points. Very simple.
So because you said that it's more important, like the direction is more important, like the why.
When I'm looking to get direction, again, I do a long-winded version of it. I do something what's called 3-click. Now, 3-click's looking at 3 markets with 3 indicators inside it, and then you do that 3 times. So I look at a monthly, a weekly, and a daily to see what the average is. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. So if the dominance is to the upper side, right, so the high time frames is up. Then I'll look for a hinge pin, daily, 4-hour, hourly. Same process. And I see if those 2 baskets are in alignment. Now, if they're not in alignment, it doesn't mean I'm not going to trade. It just means I'm going to be conservative with my target because I'm going against the bigger picture.
Right,
and then for the entry point, hourly 15.5, again as a basket. And I want that to marry with the middle one. And if all the ducks are in alignment, in we go. And I've got my framework from one to the next to the next.
So it's okay for you to trade against the trend, but if you do, you make sure you take profits earlier.
But it depends on what the trend is, because for me, I was always told there was 3 trends in the market. You've got the deep trend, where the biggest money is, which will come from your monthly, your weekly, and your daily. That's like the deepest trend there is. Now, a pullback on a weekly can be quite significant on an hourly chart. So if I'm going against that, fine. I'm just going to be a little bit careful because the bigger money's going the opposite direction. But for today, the dominant could be to the short, which is why I say I look at the market from a market neutral point of view. And then my low time frames have to align with what the daily is going to be up to. And then that way it keeps life simpler. I mean, there's many ways it can be done. There's many ways you can mark the chart. You can mark a chart using, say, daddy levels for the day chart. On the 7 levels within that day chart. You've got the high, you've got the low, the open, the close, the midpoint, and then you've got the expansion of something set on the side of it. So if you don't want to go through this entire exercise, you can put 7 levels in quite easily. And now you've still got the market framed out. So there's plenty of ways.
Sorry if I'm interrupting here. I just want to jump in and say we have less than 100 likes left till we hit that 750.
I was just about to say, because I was looking at this and smiling. I was like, there's a lot more people liking this thing than there was yesterday. I'm shocked it's nearly at 700. So I've got an idea. If we get to the 800, I'm going to add an extra something, a special link with a special discount for a certain program, which is going to be only for an amount of, let's say, 30 traders. So on top of the Bootcamp accounts, if it gets up to 800 likes, I'm going to add here to the comments a link, which is going to be an automatic coupon for 30 traders. First 30 traders that use that link will be able to take advantage of the discount on that. I'm not going to say what account it is. I'm not going to say how much the discount it is. You're going to have to go in and see for yourself. Actually, I will have to say which account it is because you'd have to click on the account to get a discount. But it will. Let's see if we get to the 800, because to be honest, we're at nearly 700 and we're going to be giving away all those Bootcamp accounts. So if we get to the 800 in less than an hour, then definitely you guys deserve the link for the coupon.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, exactly. 30 minutes in and almost at 700 still. I mean, already.
Fantastic.
That's gonna be, it's quick. We got a lot of viewers as well. So like I said yesterday, people seem to like free stuff, which is awesome. We know we got free.
Yeah, look, we got free knowledge, free accounts, free entertainment. Yeah. This is what we like doing. We like entertaining.
Yeah, again, I just would like to remind people that you only have to comment once, and it's going to be 250 with a capital K, not a small K. I'm seeing a lot of people do a small K. If you do a small K, you will not be in the draw. So you have to comment once with 250K with capital K. And we appreciate all of you coming in here and commenting. It's amazing to have you all in here. But we also have to remember what this is. We are doing live trading as an education. So we want to make sure that we also give space to people who have questions to myself, Alex, and Gary here. Okay. So if you do have any questions, let us know in the comment.
Doing all right, so okay, we're not dead in the water yet.
With Bitcoin, do you know what? Like Bitcoin to day trade for me, I feel is quite tough. When there's the bull market, a full bull market, I feel like it's a lot easier, but it's still people are still sidelined a little bit. I'm in spot positions. I've been in spot positions for a while. We'll just wait and see what happens.
Different disciplines, isn't it? I mean, I'm literally doing this because you goaded me into doing it, and
you love it.
Well, simply because you've introduced it so they can trade 7 days a week. So thanks for that. I don't get a day off anymore now. But this particular trade, what I set up is the exact same principle of what I was talking about. All the levels are done exactly the same way. Key swing points. There's decent Fibonacci's in it. And then all I've seen in this is this massive drive. But what you can also see is the pressure's running out with the Bollinger Band, and there's no strength to the upper side anymore because it's flattening in, it's closing in together. So all the energy from the hour downwards is kind of pushing down. And that's what we're banking on. And I'm looking to get down into the 50 to the purple line as a minimum. But it opens up another question, because one thing that I see in all the social medias, certainly around the prop industry, is there's so much emphasis on about sizing up and making it too big. And then they cry that they burst the account. If you size down to your drawdown and build a position up, you'll save your account. Not only will you save your account, it'll grow over a long period of time, because you should never come into trading for a quick hit. You should be in it for a lifetime. So
yeah, I think that's definitely. And something I'm interested in is, you talked about how, because I'm interested in, like, so for me, the difference in the way we're trading is I look for, like, I'm quite systematic with my system. I have very clear entry triggers. So as soon as I see the signal or the entry trigger, I get in with full risk. But you talked about I guess you're more discretionary when it comes to entering, and you're also scaling into the position, right?
What I'm looking for a certain criteria, and I genuinely am, but it's more based on multiple things. So I want the RSI coming in my direction. Okay, so that's one thing. And I don't use them so much as triggers. They are, I suppose, discretionary. But the one thing that I do use is levels, because they are bounce points and the reaction points. So once I see a price come into the level and I see the other criteria, in other words, a closing of the Bollinger Band or a Bollinger Band sort of coming from an outside to the inside, and the RSI, I can see the weakness in the market. That then starts becoming a trigger. But then I also look for pin bars and various other bits and pieces in the market as well. But to look at a Fibonacci just as a ratio, I saw one of the questions and it's gone up a little bit too quick. I can't remember their name, but they asked what was the most important Fib ratios inside it, or zones. If you can see a strong directional drive here, which you can see it just sticks out like a sore thumb, the Fib perfectly maps out that trade, because you've got an entry point on the 23. So you can use the 23 as your entry point. You can pull it to risk-free at 38 and be gone at 50. It's systematically mapped that out for you. And then if you want to have a runner to then start moving your stop, if it hits the 61, you can move your stop into 38. Comes to the 76, you move it from the 38 to the 50. So you can use the Fib to ratchet. Now, if you're going to build a position up, because I don't genuinely like to go into the market 100%, because then you've got nowhere to go. I like to build a position, and I'll build it backwards. Well, the Fib helps me do that as well, because that's why I have it marked out in a certain way. I know I'm happy to enter in and around here, but I'll tip my toe in the water. If it runs for me, outstanding. If it doesn't, I'll stage it up into this danger box, if you like, between the 127 and the 161, which are key turning points. And from 0 up to here, I have to make a decision of I'm either going to trade into this and trade my way out of it, or I'm going to kill it. But if it gets into a certain point, and my maximum point is always the 61, I'll have a hard stop in here somewhere. The machine itself will make that decision for me. So using a Fib can map things out. And not only can it map it out, it makes it systematic.
Yeah, I like that. And you know, I think I do use the Fib in a very similar way. I do try to add the Fib and then at least look for confluence with those horizontal levels and the fib lows. I think that's mostly how I use fibs, and then when I do find that horizontal level lining up with the fib, that's when I want to mark out the level as extra strong. All right, so
This is
less than 10
crazy.
likes left. Less than 10 likes.
It's absolutely. We're
Pretty
gonna have to start
solid.
thinking. We're gonna have to start thinking of different things. I'm telling you, one day we are
Yeah.
gonna give away a Lambo. Swear down. It's gonna have to happen.
When I fly you over to there, I'm going to choke you.
That's it. We're Lambo boys now. That's it. 800 likes in less than 40 minutes is absolutely nuts. Something I actually didn't think was gonna happen in 40 minutes.
Nope.
People are getting their family's friends, friends of friends of friends.
All right, so what we're
Okay,
gonna
there
do
you go,
in
800.
in not too long, we're gonna be
a green one. Jonathan, you've got to excuse me. I have an absolute hatred of Lamborghinis.
Oh really?
Yeah, you just
Wow.
he just doesn't like the Lambo boys.
Who? Well, I do love myself a Lambo.
No, you don't.
I'll be in the giveaway.
The guys know that I have a hatred of them, so the bugger sent me one with my name on it.
That's the Lambo we're actually going to give away, by the way, guys.
Yeah,
If we get
that's the one.
1,000 likes, you're getting that Lambo.
Yeah.
Toy Lambo.
Signed.
Exactly.
All right, so we're all. In not too long, we're going to be giving away the accounts here live on the stream. I want to remind you all that if you didn't win anything today, you have another opportunity right after this live stream when Saul and Alex is going live on Twitter Spaces, where we're going to give away more accounts. So you have this opportunity to win now, this hour, and then after the live stream. And tomorrow, we're doing these giveaways every live stream, correct?
Yep, we're going to have to come up with the amount of likes that we're going to have to come up with some more prizes, to be honest. It's crazy. I didn't realize how many likes way too quick. Yeah, normally these live streams will be 2 hours. Obviously today with the Twitter stuff, it's not going to be 2 hours, but you've still got a lot of content. Saul is going to be there as well, so to ask him questions about the programs, or you can ask him questions about the future of the company, where we're looking at, what we're looking at doing. There's a lot of interesting stuff coming up very soon. I don't know how much stuff he's gonna actually say, but in a couple of weeks there is definitely some huge news. So there's all different things like that we'll talk about. I've quickly got to take this call, so I'm gonna leave it with you, though.
I will leave a comment with a link to a Twitter post where you can go, and if you have any questions for Saul, the CEO of the 5ers, you can comment below on that tweet, and he will cover everything in the live, not the live trading session, the live Twitter Spaces. Man, there's so many different names here. All right, you're in Bitcoin right now, right?
I'm in Bitcoin right now. It's doing what it wants. Now, I'll drop you into a 15-minute chart to kind of highlight something for you. It's more for the guys, because when I'm looking at a Bollinger Band, I also want to see the flare of the Bollinger Band as well. Now, as it goes further down the chart, it doesn't hold a lot of weight. But if I'm looking to watch the market and I'm on a 15-minute chart, and I'm not sure, I'll see if I can get this a different color. I have it on dark blue so that it doesn't.
Right, yeah, because I was thinking, like, where's the Bollinger Bands? Yeah.
Yeah, I do it on purpose, actually, because I don't like to have a lot of real estate on the chart. I want them as clean as I can kind of see it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll get rid of the fib because I don't need that just yet. You can see that Bollinger Band's flaring out aggressively. Now, that's showing me there's a lot of strength in the market. Now, what I'm also paying attention to down here, you'll see that this RSI, it's dropping right down. Now, I changed the RSI because you've got 3 settings on it. You've got the momentum setting of 5, you've got the standard of 14, and then you've got the slowed version at 28. Now, if I'm looking to be in the motion with the market, speed it up. Now, all I'll be looking for, when that gets down into a very low level, that could be running out of steam. take my profit, let it come back up a little bit, and then I can re-enter back in, as long as these arms are still on a flaring point. Because the second they start closing in, the pressure's running out. And that's where your levels come into play for me as well. Because if the pressure's run out, it's coming to a level, it's a high probability that level's going to hold. So just take your money. You know.
I think Alex wants to say something.
No, I'm just really happy. You know, I ordered. I had to buy a new bed. Honestly, it's weird personal stuff. I had to buy a new bed. My bed broke. Bought a new bed. Took ages for it to come.
How did the bed broke? Don't tell me how it broke.
We don't need the gory details, son. I know you were away for a while.
It broke. It broke.
Anyway, so I bought a new bed, and it was taking ages to come.
Alex broke the bed.
And it had to take ages to come, and I got a call saying it's going to come tomorrow. So, you know what?
Right.
Anyway.
Well, Ray, I'm so happy for you, man. So happy that
Thank
you.
I'm super happy, though. You know, suddenly I can actually get some decent night's sleep.
I thought you were going to say, like, they called from the Lambo dealership. We're going to give away a Lambo to me.
A bed is more important. Than any Lambo.
Yeah, hell yeah. Bed is better. I'd take a Lambo. Mate, 100%. Yeah, bed is better. Definitely.
Well,
all right. I think. Are we getting? Are we getting ready to maybe start giving away some accounts?
We are getting ready. Do you want to do any kind of quick analysis going over some of the charts for some people before we get going, or do you want to? We've got 15 minutes left. I think we can do it, and then let's say in the next 10 minutes, then we'll start doing all of the giveaways and stuff.
I want to show my screen quickly to show, because I did exit the NCD CAD trade here. So you guys saw that. Let me go back here, and I'll show you what kind of what's going on here. Why can't I move this one? That's weird. Okay, so the reason why I entered this trade was because of that rejection. So next candle, that, like you saw how it moved lower here, that's the rejection I entered the trade based on. It's a simple break and retest. We have this level, broke the level. I was quite mindful of this trend though, and as you can see here on the 1 hour, it's a very nice trend here, and it came down perfectly into that reload zone. So I was quite mindful of that. I got ready to exit this a bit earlier because we had a local strong uptrend. I mean, not a downtrend. Mm-hmm. So the reason why I exited this trade was because usually what happens, like my best trades, I exit here and then they basically go straight down. That's usually how my best trades look. And when I do see something where it moves like this, I usually want to get out. So I try to get out at a half a loss, half an hour instead of, so I have a wide stop loss to make sure that I can have the room to get out before losing too much. So most of my losses are, half an hour and not 1 hour. So what we saw then was, that second retest of this, the second retest of this resistance area. And now I don't really feel comfortable holding this trade here, because now if you look at maybe the 5 minute, this will probably, 5 minute to 1 minute, this will probably look like an uptrend. So, but not really. But like the reasoning here, kind of, I'm guessing you're looking at this and you kind of thinking that is a higher low in what will become a higher high and an uptrend, and I tried to get out of the trade. So that's why I exited this trade. So honestly, this week has not been my best trading week. It's been frustrating, man. It's been frustrating.
Yeah, I'm actually in a Kiwi dollar trade, actually going long at the moment off the 1 hour. I'm not going to go into it now. It's going to be a little bit of a swing. So we should have a look and see what happened to it on tomorrow, especially after the news, because the news is either going to take me out or it's going to go in my favor, and we'll see. About 0.5% risk, and we'll talk about that tomorrow. But let's get on to the giveaway, because I'm going to have to wrap it up and go to Twitter soon. So I'm going to share my screen. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to get rid of this banner because we're ready. Okay, so these are for the 250 Bootcamp accounts. So the first person Oh, okay. There we go. So the first person you've got to, if you want to, obviously you've got to speak to us to redeem it. I did try to find the people on the last guys on YouTube and find their email. It's quite difficult to do that. So what you need to do is send me an email at help@the5ers.com, a screenshot of your YouTube profile, just showing the same email, just so I know it's you and not just some fake person. And then I'll be able to give you the Bootcamp account. So there you go. That is the first person. Let's do the next draw.
In the comment section, you also have the link. So you guys can stop commenting to the 50K now. So
Yeah. There you go. We got another.
Congratulations, the third winner. Awesome. In the comment section, you have this comment right here. This is a link that will take you directly to the Twitter Spaces. Make sure you join starting in 10 minutes, where we will.
There you go. One last person, and then we're gonna send that secret coupon.
Yeah, that's right. We had that. We had 800 likes. We got 900 likes, man.
Oh gosh! Wow, I'm gonna have to do bigger prizes soon, definitely. Okay, so you guys, the three winners, and Remy, send us an email to help@the5ers.com. Profile, a screenshot of your profile with your email, just so we know it's you. And now for the coupon, if you guys are ready, this is just for a little bit of an extra bit for getting 800 likes. I'm going to put it here in the comments. This is going to be 30 spaces for this. So 30 spaces, it's for a instant 10K account, and it's going to be a 25% discount. So people that like trading on the instant funding, it's a one step. You're trading with live funds from day one. All you need to do is go in, pass the first stage, and then you can already start withdrawing after that first stage. So boom, there's the coupon for people that want to use it. For you, if you want to use it, you have to go into this link, go into the hub. You've got to go through the new account, click on Hypergrowth Instant 10K or Hypergrowth 10K, and then you're going to see that discount has been applied. Now, if you're too late and 30 people have already used it, then you're not going to see that discount anymore. So if you go in now and you see the discount, well done, you one of those 30 people.
All right, so 30 people, that's awesome. So we got 3 accounts giveaway. We got amazing discount for 30 people. I'm honestly, I'm a bit shocked, not shocked, but it's a lot of likes in under an hour here. It's amazing. And the thing that I like about this is the fact that we're going to be doing this every live stream.
Yep.
Not this exact thing, but we're going to be doing
giveaways. Very, very similar, yeah. To be fair, Hypergrowth, sorry, Jonathan, Hypergrowth, for people that don't know, is probably one of the fastest ways to get to the millions as well. You are literally every 10% you do, you actually get your account doubled. Now, Scruff here is funded trader, has been a funded trader with us many different times on instant funding accounts. So you can bear witness to the power of the growth systems that they do have on the Hypergrowth. And
what I'd say against you 3 is, if you're a little bit unsure of your trading skills, take your boot camp, because it's 100%. Training wheels. You've got plenty of time, but you've got skin in the game to give you the emotional connection to the chart. But if you've actually got your skills, hyper all the way. Yeah, you know, pay me every month. I'm quite happy. It's a no-brainer.
I'd like to, quick advice to the people that actually did win a challenge here. Remember that you have unlimited time to complete this challenge. There's no stress, all right? You got to take it easy. I know a lot of you are going to be like very happy about this account. There's nothing wrong with waiting 1 week until you start trading, because now you're going to be like very happy. I got the challenge. And I honestly let those emotions calm down, and then you're gonna start trading, because the more emotional you are, the more problems you're gonna face in trading. And risk small, risk very, very, very small in the beginning, because if you're risking 1% per trade, it only takes I think it's 6% to drawdown.
Yeah. So advice I say is always put your drawdown as your account. Look at the account size as buying power. But if you're going to size to the drawdown, not the account. And
super great advice.
So much longer.
Super great advice.
Way of doing it is if you work on 10 cents for every $100, that'll give you your maximum size. Like on this account there, you're looking at it small, and the euro is actually dropping in just like I thought, level to level. But I would have still only gone in at 10 cents because the account is only like got a 600 drawdown on it, if you like. That means 60. If you want to build a position, I don't want to add to that position. So you start small and build it up. And all these dollars that you get add up. Yeah. And then suddenly you find you've been trading a month, 6 weeks maybe, you're pretty close to your target. But if you try and do it in a week, you'll just blow it.
Yep.
All right, guys. I think we have to.
We're gonna end it in literally 2 seconds. I want to just mention the people that have. So the 3 guys that got the challenges today. Again, email me. Email help@the5ers.com with a picture, screenshot of your YouTube channel with your email there, so I know it's you. Then obviously I'll be able to give you the accounts. We're here every single day, well, Monday to Wednesday, every single day doing content, new people here, new accounts, lots of entertainment. If you haven't won today, don't worry. We are going to take everything over now to Twitter, where we're going to have a Q&A live with Saul, the CEO of the 5ers, and we are going to do something very similar over there, okay? And Gary, thank you very much for coming. Always a pleasure having you around, and it's good.
We're gonna have you on as well. We need to have you on more. I need to need to understand more detail about your way of trading. Very interesting.
Yep.
Anytime, kid. Anytime.
Amazing. Right. Jonathan, any last words for you?
Yes, see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, same. Well, tomorrow I'm gonna make money though, so you're gonna see some takeoffs getting hit for.
Let's go. Let's go, baby. See you guys there. Bye, guys.
Hi, guys. So thank you very much for watching the video. Now make sure you like and subscribe, and most of all, go into the YouTube and check our other content that we provide here at the 5ers.